Thank you for taking this time to breathe and listen to what can change your life forever. My name is Ragnar Sinikas, and I'm the founder of Ladypreneur TV, How to Dominate the Decade Talks, World Women's and Conference and Awards, the creator of Coral Desk, the coach of the Changemaker, and co-author for 3 soon-to-be-launched books for entrepreneurship secrets. Thank you very much for joining us. Today, I have the honor to talk with Jason Oswald from Atlanta, Georgia, United States of America, and he will be sharing with us his RISE method to help you transform your life, finances, and future. So, welcome, Jason. Tell us a little about your background, your history, who you are, and what you're doing.
All right, well, first off, thanks for having me on your show today, Regna. A little bit about myself is that I am a former debt collector. I was one of those guys that would call you and harass you for money when you fell delinquent on your bills. Now, that was obviously my past life. I did that about 25 years ago, and I was a manager at a large collection agency based out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. I literally trained hundreds of individuals to be the cutthroat, ruthless debt collectors that you hear about in the news and on the headlines. About two decades ago, I had lost my mom to lung cancer, and that was sort of the shift in my life where I made a decision that I no longer wanted to be that individual, and I wanted to help people with their debts. And so I decided to get into the debt elimination industry and have been in that for 20 years. So in total, you could say that I've been in the credit, the collections, the debt relief, and the credit repair industry for over 25 years. And I've developed several different programs, products, and services to help individuals to transform their finances, to escape debt, to improve their credit, and to really get ahead in life and without all that stuff weighing them down or holding them back. And the journey, I haven't looked back yet, and I'm still looking forward, and I'm coming out with several other programs that are going to help transform lives. And today I'm going to present one of those programs in those books, and it's called the RISE method.
So you're going to obviously talk about the RISE method in a second, but I think that our main obstacles in life, or why we get stuck, is one, we don't have the self-belief, and if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will, no? So I think where people see, also financially speaking, the most affected areas or blockages that we have are the result of our disbeliefs or our belief systems, and in the end of the day, it comes down to our mindset. What is your take of this? How can one's beliefs and thoughts affect us financially speaking?
Well, you're actually taking over my conversation right now. Because that's exactly what the RISE method is. All too often, individuals are looking at the problems that they're in right now. They're looking at the financial problems. They're looking at the debt problems. They're looking at the credit issues. They're looking at the lack of not having enough money. They're looking at all the negative components and aspects of their lives right now, especially in the times that we're living in right now with the COVID crisis. A lot of people are concerned about their future. They're concerned about their finances. They're concerned whether or not they should make the credit card payments, the mortgage payments, the vehicle payments, and so like that. So there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of negative things that are going through people's minds, that are going through their lives, that's being portrayed on the news, everything that they read. It's all negative all around them. And unfortunately, as human beings, we have a tendency to be drawn to that. And as we're drawn to that, whether it's in our life personally impacting it by stuff we're watching, reading, or listening to, or whether or not it's stuff that it's already there, it's coming in and it's creating a negative environment in ourselves, in our own minds. And that's emulated into the world around us. You know, it goes to the law of attraction, which I'll scratch the surface on that in this discussion, but it's what you focus on is what you're going to bring into your life. If you're focusing on the negative things, if you're focusing on the what if, I wish I had more money, I wish I had less debt, I wish I had better credit, a better job, a better marriage, a better relationship. You know, you're putting yourself into that negative state of mind just by what you're saying with that. So right now in the times that we're living in, what the one bit of advice that I would give people, and to get ahead of myself here a little bit, is that with all this negative talk, all this chaos that's going on outside of the world, don't bring it into your world. Don't bring it into your environment, because you're going to get more of that. You know, that's really what the RISE method is. It shows people how to shift that. Rather than overcomplicating things, which a lot of people do, a lot of entities do out there, this actually simplifies it. You know, and look, I've worked with thousands of people, helping them with debt and to get out of that debt. And that's actually where the RISE method came about, is because I took a step back and I took a look at what was going on in their life. What were the underlying components and issues that these individuals were dealing with when it came to their finances, their debts, their income. And the main thing is the way that they thought about things. And so I started a company called the Phoenix Prosperity Network, and our slogan is to rise up and prosper. So I wanted to tie that in. That's really where the RISE method evolved, is helping out so many individuals. And then how could I further help them? How could I help them get out of the negative aspects of their life? And hence the RISE method there. And it's a simple acronym that I believe can actually change and transform individuals' lives, finances, and their future. And part of it is getting out of that headspace.
But if we're looking at, and you have the experience from the other side when things already have gone wrong and you are in debt and all of that, but what would be the principles that you could recommend today for the entrepreneurs and the business owners and also individuals, in a sense that in order not to get in those situations, what should be avoided and what should be done if you are already in those situations? I think there's a lot of things that people tend to disappear and not taking the responsibility when the things go bad. But from the point of view, like, you have been on both sides, if you are, one, how to avoid it, and two, if you are in a situation like that, what would be the what should I do?
So first off, before I forget my train of thought, when people are avoiding and they're hiding away from stuff, we call it the Ostrich Effect, because you're like an ostrich. You're sticking your head into the sand, and you're trying to avoid all this stuff that's going around in our world. It's sort of like right now in the times that we live in, you can't avoid this. You can't go hide out, and the rest of the world is just going to disappear. Much like debt. Debt isn't going to disappear. So as far as to prevent going into that, it's to watch your spending and don't go into debt over frivolous things, and don't use your credit as a tool. Use your credit to invest in yourself, to invest in your life, into your business, rather than going out to buy the next 4K 80-inch screen TV, or buying the new phones for your kids, or the new devices, gaming systems for your kids. Watch your money. And one of the simplest things that I advise my clients to do is think before you buy something on credit, before you take out credit, how much is that credit really going to cost you? Now, I'm not talking about the interest or the low monthly payments, whether it's on a personal side or on a business side. How much is that going to cost you of your time? You take out $1,000 line of credit, you go buy that new TV for $1,000. What do you make hourly? If you only make $25 an hour, take that $1,000 and divide it by the $25. How many hours of your life are you giving up in exchange for that purchase, for that new TV, that new gaming system? That's an investment in yourself. That is going into debt. That is an item that is not going to improve your financial situation. It's not going to improve your life or your business. So start thinking that way. How much is going into debt? How much is your purchases really costing you? And also, is this purchase, is it an investment that is going to better myself, my life, my future, and my finances? So there's good debt versus bad debt. The bad debt is what chains you into debt slavery, what holds you back from your life. And the good debt is investment in yourself. investment in your business, an investment in growing your business, marketing, getting a business coach, going to a webinar, going to some type of an event where you're going to learn, you're going to feed your mind, and you're going to better and improve your mind and your life. And on the other side is once you're in it, it's getting the right intelligent information. And we'll go into that a little bit, but that's the I of the RISE method, is that given the right intelligent information and knowing what you're dealing with as far as the creditors, the collection entities such as a collection agency or a collection attorney, and knowing what laws they have to adhere to help protect your rights and your privacy. Not only that, but also to level the playing field when you're dealing with these entities to make sure that they're not harassing you, they're not doing something that's demeaning or in violation of your rights as a consumer. So get the right intelligent information. The reason that I put intelligent in that is there's a lot of wrong information out there. There's a lot of people that go out and read a book or two and think they're an expert. They take a course and they think they're an expert in something, and they're fly by night. Just to say, let me ask you a question. If you had a heart attack, would you want somebody that specializes in heart attacks and has operated, several thousand procedures, or would you want somebody that's watched every season of Grey's Anatomy working on you?
Well, it depends. How good does it look?
All right, mixed dreamy. I get that. I used to watch Grey's Anatomy, but and I know exactly where you're coming from. But at the end of the day, looks, Grey's Anatomy, they're not going to save your life. If it's somebody that just watches TV, sits on their butt all day, and has never been in an operating room in regards to that. So that's just the same. When you're looking for help, whether you're focusing on trying to get out of debt yourself if you're in it, and get an education and information on your own, make sure that those people have been around for quite some time. For example, would you rather work with somebody that just read a book and got into the debt elimination industry a week ago? Or would you rather work with somebody that's been on both sides of the fence, that's been in this industry for 25 years and has helped thousands of people escape debt and transform their finances and their life?
This is exactly what we have been also now. This is the fourth week where we have different coaches and people giving their coaching, and this is what I'm emphasizing every time. Look where you are asking for advice, because it tends to have a very strong effect in your life, and that can be positive or negative. So you can't really ask for the advice from the people that do not have the experience, credibility, and results in those areas. So I'm 100% with you on that. What would be your advice also today? Maybe not that much but again, you have a very wide. If I read your resume, you have experience in a lot of things. So I have been asked lately, and I have told that I'm not an expert in that area, and they need to ask from somewhere which is the expert in that. What would you say if the credit is available, especially for small businesses? Should they use it, or how do you see from the collection side? How do I evaluate my strength as a small business if I take more responsibility, which one, it can help me to survive and drive further, but two, if I over measure myself, can even take me deeper to somewhere which I don't want to be. Like, how should one evaluate themselves? What would be the right course of action today?
I think a lot of people right now in these times, especially businesses, looking for a bloodline. They're pressing the big panic button. and they're thinking, I need to do this, that, I need to take out loans because I don't have money coming in. I need to go into debt to try to, stabilize my future, the business future, and so like that. So a lot of people, without really thinking through a strategy on using that credit, they take on the credit with no plan of attack, no game plan on where they can best utilize that money in their business to, one, survive, two, is to thrive through these times. So I think if somebody is considering taking out credit, make sure that you are doing something that is going to help out your business during these times where obviously we have social distancing or you're not able to be open. What can you do right now for your business? How can you think vertically? What other things can you do, such as a live webinar? What can you teach people and sort of that? What can you do inexpensively right now without having to take on that additional debt, but at the same time also bring in an additional stream of revenue? And I'll give you a perfect example. A good friend of mine, she owns a chocolate company out here in Roswell, Georgia. And I checked in on her the other day, sent her a couple messages, and she's doing fine. Obviously, chocolate sales are very low. She has had some sales, but they're almost nothing because nobody wants to go out. And especially when you're in an environment when you're handling food and chocolates and sort of that, people are hesitant, people are leery. So I had a discussion with her and I advised her to start teaching people at home how to make homemade chocolates, how to get creative with her chocolates, and start charging for that information. Even if it's a couple of dollars here, $25, $50, $100 for classes, and she could do different levels of those classes. She still has revenue coming into her business where she doesn't have to rely on taking out credit. Now, I'm not saying, look, you're going to offset the income that you once had during these times, but there's a chance that you could. Maybe there's a chance that you can even elevate your income during these times. But business owners have to start looking outside of the box. They have to start thinking outside of the box and what they can do and what additional streams of revenue they can bring into their company. And a lot of these business owners, they never thought about that. Here's an opportunity for them to do that, for them to think outside of the box and think of what else they can do without getting into debt. Now, I want to throw in another note on that, is that most business owners out there rely on their personal credit. Now, they go out and they get a card that may be attached to their company name. It has their company name on it, but chances are it's not real business credit. And the difference between the two is that personal credit is tied to your social security number. That credit card that has your company name on, you're probably the personal guarantee on that. So if something happens to your business, you are personally responsible. True business credit is built, it's established and built under your tax EIN number itself. And in America, that is something that really sets a company apart from the rest of the businesses, is that I call it 2X credit, is that when you have personal credit and you have business credit, there's strength in that. You have double the buying power, almost triple and quadruple the credit power on that. And that's what businesses right now should also be taking a look at, is to establish and build their business credit for once we're out of this situation that we're dealing with. They're going to be 10 steps ahead of their competition, and they're going to dominate the market, the industry, and the decade.
So I was heading there. So I will, before I ask the question how to dominate the decade, or what are your recommendations to do so, everybody who are on the call, please prepare your questions if you have ones. If you don't want to open the microphone, you can write them in the chat area. And everybody also who you are watching in the Facebook Live, you can comment below. So I'm looking at the transmission there, so we can answer your questions there as well. So Jason, how can one dominate the decade? What would be your 3 recommendations to do so?
Oh, dominate the decade. I believe in taking notes and writing stuff down, and I'll wing it at the point, and that's the amazing thing about your mind, is that you have all this knowledge, all this information out there, but I like to go through that. So my recommendations to dominate the decade is start now. It's never too late to do something that you wanted to do in life. You know, a lot of people were held back. We're held back by our thoughts. We're held back by getting stuck in the past of our life. So now is the time to start doing whatever you want to do. If you wanted to take some classes, take some online courses, if you wanted to start a business, now is a great time. But just start now. Whatever it is you want to do, whatever you've been procrastinating off or putting off and saying, look, I'll get to that tomorrow. I'll do that next week. I'll do that a month from now. I'll do that a year from now. I'll do that later on. Start this now, because you don't want to look back 5-10 years from now and being I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have started this back then, because you're going to be ahead of the curve by starting today. The next is realize your potential power. I truly believe that everybody has so much ability, so much power within themselves. They only need to find that and to unlock that. And one of the ways that you do that is through intelligent information, to feed your mind, to learn things. You know, whatever you want, whether you want more money, then follow people that have made a massive fortune. Success leaves clues. So look for those clues. Go to people that have been successful. Read their books. Listen to their audio sessions. Watch their videos. Go to a live event. Go join webinars. Go to, you know, small groups and sessions. But make sure you're getting the right information from the right person who's actually accomplished something in life. Circling back around to what we said, you want to make sure you go to somebody that has the knowledge, the expertise, and has actually done what they're teaching with that. And the third one is, again, my slogan is rise up and prosper. So much like the phoenix, and the reason that I use phoenix is because the phoenix is a mythological bird that, in order for it to become what it's meant to be, in order for it to transform what it was destined to, it has to die. And it goes down in a blaze of fire, but it rises up from the ashes as a firebird. And I believe that everybody is a phoenix. Everybody has the potential power to rise up and prosper. We just need to leave the past, the crap behind us, where it belongs, in the past.
Very good points. I liked, and we have a good comments on those. I love that. Feed your mind, exactly. Follow successful people. So we have a question. What are the key points and the secrets to healthy personal finances?
To healthy personal finances?
Yeah.
One is make sure that you use credit as a tool, as it's meant to be. Obviously, have a security fund in regards to that. Read the stories of successes throughout history. If there's one book that I could recommend everybody reads, it would be The Richest Man in Babylon. And the reason for that, it really teaches you fundamental financial principles that anybody can read. Now, this is a book that is public domain, and so you can find it for free online. As a matter of fact, if you go to freerisebook.com and join my Facebook group, that will be one of the books that I'm going to put in there today. So I will be adding additional public domain resources that don't cost you anything in regards to that. Another thing is that you have to take in new knowledge, new information that maybe you've never thought about in the past. Because the more you learn, the more you're going to earn in life. And a lot of people have a tendency to want to keep learning. They want to digest. They see the shiny objects. They see these people with the Ferraris, Maseratis, the mansions, the glitz and gold. And they're like, oh, I want that. How can I have that? Take my money, take my credit card. Don't do that, people. I don't care who the person is. Right now in these times, everybody is struggling. And these individuals, they've got so used to taking advantage of people and selling them garbage and straight up crap. You know, so right now they're trying to throw all that crap out and try to charge you several thousands of dollars for that. Don't go into debt to get ahead. Don't buy these thousands of dollars of programs that people are selling where you don't get one-on-one coaching. You know, do your research, your due diligence, and find out who the wealth masters are. Those are the people that when you're in a position to afford them, then hire them. Regna and I both know one that's how Regna and I met, is the fact that we have a mutual individual that we get coaching from. And I won't say any names, that, but ultimately fundamentals is knowledge and
Curiously, we lost you. Curiously, we lost you for a second.
Oh, okay.
in a moment where we were talking about the individuals.
What was the last thing I said?
I heard the last one, that we have a mutual individual, and then you
Okay.
for a second. So
sure. Well, what I was saying is that make sure you make wise investments. Don't go out and go into debt on buying courses that people sell for several thousands of dollars, where they provide no support, nothing to hold your hand in the process. When you're at a financial position in life or in your business where you can go out and hire a coach to help you and mentor you and help you transform your business and get to the next level, then definitely do that. So make wise investments as far as in your life and your business. And it doesn't cost that much money to get great information. You can pick up a book for $5, $10, $20 tops. You don't have to go and spend several thousands of dollars. Again, use credit as a tool. Personal credit and also business credit. Trust me on this, people. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this, you're going to get 10 times more in business credit than you ever could on your personal credit. But you have to establish it and build it the right way. Personal credit takes years to establish and build to get your scores up. Business credit only takes a couple months, and by the time you're done establishing and building your business credit, you're going to get $10, $20, $30,000 cash credit cards that you can use for your business. So if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, solopreneur, whether your company is several years old or several days old, you want to add that. You want to 2x your credit by not only having personal credit, but also business credit in regards to that. Now, this also goes for anybody that's in network marketing. You know, if you're in network marketing, you're in sales, you are a business owner. So establish a business entity and start establishing and building business credit on that. That's what's going to help you get ahead in life, is OPM, other people's money. So use other people's money. Now, I'm not saying use other people's money as far as the bank's money, as far as credit to go buy TVs, gaming systems, new $1,000 phones or iPads, but invest in yourself, invest in your education. Also have cash reserves. Set money aside. Set 10% of what you earn aside. I would actually say set 20% of what you earn aside. And learn how to budget your finances and do without certain things. Because once you're shifting your mind and you're getting yourself in this mind that you're money focused, you're cash conscious, you're going to evolve financially, and keep feeding your mind constantly with vital information that is going to enhance and improve your life. And it's going to evolve you not only personally, not only your business, but also financially in the process of that. So those are just some quick tips. And if you want to send me a message, I'll send you a lot more. Trust me, there's a lot of information and knowledge up here.
I'm very, very thankful that you brought up I think one of the main obstacles for a lot of people to grow or scale their businesses, that they don't know their numbers. So I'm very thankful that you mentioned that, and I think everything starts from there. And we, especially us as women, we tend to think, oh, I know my numbers, I have them here. And we more or less get by with whatever. And then we're sort of disappointed when we get to the point that you are in a certain moment and you're like, why I'm still not there? Like, I wanted to be, or my goal was to be, but then you when you really analyze, it's lack of doing the research, setting the budget, setting the even the goals that way that it's with numbers. I think a lot of people, and me included, this is my main weakness, I think, which I have been really working on now, because I see that this is where I can excel, because I have pushed it sort of, if I don't like it, I don't want to really pay attention to it. So, and when we have good times, then it doesn't really matter, because we get by, no? But when let's say the shoe is really squeezing, then you need to pay attention to finally to it. So so I love that way that you brought this up, and I think that's also the message that you want to convey, whether you're an individual or whether you're a company, even as a small family company, that you really need to have your numbers right, and you need to know them, no?
Oh, absolutely. You need to know what's coming in. You need to know what's going on. You need to watch that. And you need to get yourself in the mindset of that and get used to it. It's like anything, you know, you have to practice at it. You have to face it. You know, you can't procrastinate your finances, because if you procrastinate your finances, that's when you end up getting in trouble. You know, with government entities, trouble with your business, and you're scraping to try to get by because you didn't know your numbers, you didn't know what was coming in, you didn't know what was going out. You know, if anybody watches Shark Tank, what's the one thing that they always ask is, what's your numbers? You know, what do you have coming in? How much has that costed you? You know, how much of a markup are you getting on that? And I think it's key to know that. And one of the strategies that I teach the members of my association when I'm working with them is that a lot of people don't like sitting down and putting together a budget. They don't like looking at the numbers. So they do the ostrich thing. They hide out in the sand. But I advise people, like, look, when you make purchases, make a daily tally of that. Use a spreadsheet and do this on a weekly basis. Then tally it all up at the end of the month. That way, you know where your money's going at, and the next month you can make adjustments on that, rather than trying to sit down and say, well, I think the money went here, or I think the money went there. And it just becomes it becomes a chore and a task that most people don't want to do. So whether it's on a personal side or on a business side, start doing that for your business. And also on the business side, a lot of individuals have a tendency, oh, I'm in business now, let's go and get a checking account, and you know, the money goes into the business checking account, so I'm going to pull it on the personal side. Don't do that. Always keep your personal banking and your corporate or your business banking separate, so you know what's going on over here, and you know what's going on with your business, and you can make adjustments over there. As far as your numbers, as far as calls, contacts, and so like that is something that you should definitely keep track of, because as human beings, we have a tendency to have shiny object syndrome, squirrel, you know, stuff like that, and we get distracted. You know, one moment we're like, oh, I'm just going to check to see how my Facebook advertising is going, and we go down that rabbit hole. You know, we get sucked in by technology, and then hours of our day go by, and we're wondering why we weren't as productive as we should have been. Where did that time go? Because we're utilizing that. And that's where people say, I don't have enough time. BS. Everybody has enough time. Just quit looking at your phone. Quit checking social media. Quit checking this and that, and stay focused on that. You know, take time, schedule time to do the numbers every day, every week, every month, and start getting into that routine. And it's not going to be so tedious. It's just going to be part of your normal routine.
Yeah, just you know the exact times from Monday to Friday when I'm live, so that's the time to be in the social media, right?
Right, exactly.
So thank you very much. Let me see if we have any other questions or thoughts, or keep the business and personal finances separated so you can know your numbers on either side. Yes, great information. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Artie. Thank you, Jen. Michelle, Lakisha, thank you everybody for joining us. So how can people contact you? What's the best channel to ask advice, or how can we find you?
So I am in the process of doing a lot of rebranding, and we're moving forward with the Phoenix Prosperity Network. And we're introducing a lot of things. So I would say right now, the best way to reach me is go to freerisebook.com. And it's going to take you to the Facebook group that you can sign up there. It is a private group. It's not open to the general public on that. But I really want that to be a group and a forum for individuals that are looking to get in business, that want to transform their finances, their life, their future, and ask me questions there. Now, if you have any debt issues, any credit issues, whether on a personal side or on a business side, if you want to learn how to improve your personal credit, or you want to learn how to establish and build your business credit, you can contact me via toll-free number. It's 888-88-DEBTS. That's DEBTS. Also 888-883-3287. Or you can send me a personal email at jason@nationaldc.com. So that's national, D's in debt, C's in credit. So nationaldc.com. And I'd be more than happy to talk with you and give you a consultation and find out what's going on. Especially right now in these times, I want to help out as many people as possible. So if it's something simple, I'm not going to charge anything, but obviously my time is valuable. So if just some general questions, just post them in the group. And that way, not only am I able to answer that, but that information is also be able to be shared with everybody, and other people can contribute and help you out as well. Because I'm really trying to make it a family group that, look, we're all trying to get ahead in life, and we're all there to lift and build each other up.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jason, for your time, for your help to help the community. I think that the information that you gave and the tips that you gave are very valuable. I hope people that you made you wrote down things. I did see a lot of comments here in Facebook. Thank you very much. So it's a good recap for all of us. And remember, we are here to serve the community. If there's any topics, any things that you would, or even areas that where you see that you need help, please reach out to me. I can see if we already have programmed that coach or speaker, or if not, then we can find one. The only thing which you really need to do is show up, open your mouth and ask for help, and you need to be coachable. So if there is information, then a lot of people, especially when we are under the stress, we want to justify all our moves that we have done or decisions that we have made. So that can also be your biggest obstacle. And obviously our fears, excuses, etc., etc. So I invite you to share this information with 5 of your closest friends. Why 5? Now I'm talking about it every time, because we become our conversations, and you need to really evaluate with whom are you spending time. But what is more important is that where do you ask for the advice? Don't ask for the advice from people that do not have expertise, have their experience, and have result in those areas. So do your research before you ask. And that applies especially, we touched the topic for network marketing. Do your own research. Don't just jump on conclusions or someone else's experience or opinions. So that applies also to your life, to your finances, by the way. Because if you live by others, this is the result that you get. You're stuck in your life. And if you want to be free of procrastination, you need to get to work. You need to get it done. So that was a lot of information, but the only call to action which I'd like you to do is share this information And by sharing it, you can change someone's life today. And if we were able to change just one person, one life today, our mission is completed. Thank you for joining us. Tomorrow, 11 a.m., the same place. Look us up. Tomorrow we have a guest from Dubai, so it's going to be very interesting again. And again, thank you, Jason. Maybe you want to say something to end our session.
Sure. Real fast, two different things here. Let me just go through the RISE method real fast so they know what the acronym stands for. So the first one is our reality. This stuff that we're dealing with right now, it's only temporary. This is only a temporary situation. It's not going to be the reality that you have weeks, months, or years from now. You have the power to change that, and the RISE method will show you how to do that. The I is the intelligent information. You get the right information on that. The S is your story. You are in control. You are the author of your story. And much like any book out there, that if you read it, if you don't like it, don't read it again. Rewrite a new story. And the E is the evolution on that. Now, obviously, there's a lot more information on that. I go into greater detail on that. So what I recommend people do is that when I release this book, anybody that joins the free risebook.com, it's free. I'm going to send you a copy, digital copy of the RISE method once the book is done being edited and it's finalized. So you get that for free. And I truly believe that once you read that, you're going to see things differently in your life, and you're going to rise up and prosper, and you're going to rise up and reach your true potential. So I want to thank everybody for joining this session. Regna, thanks for having me on this session here, and keep doing the amazing things that you're doing, and keep interviewing these amazing people. I really believe that you are helping change the world as we know it.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you. We have people from US, from Atlanta. We had people from locally from here, from Los Cabos, Mexico. We had people from Estonia. We had people from South Africa. We had people from, let me see, who else do I see? Germany. We had people from UK. So thank you very much for joining us. And again, see you tomorrow at the same time, at the same channel. Bye-bye.
Everybody be safe.